Reality.
UFOs.
Science.
Consciousness.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
That might not be a real thing. The podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Thanks for listening in, and if you're hearing this broadcast, welcome back to the Resistance. Today we've got a couple of different things going on. The Game Stop stock fiasco happened this week, and we're going to touch on that. I want to talk a little bit about something I call rock concert phenomenon. The boys weren't ready for that, but that's what I'm talking about. Danny D's got something up his sleeve that I am not allowed to hear until we're live on the air, and that's what he came at me with. So those are the rules. And Sean wants to know what's real and what isn't about perverts and other hoorah.
I have a lot to say about that too.
About other hoorah going on in Thailand. And as I have spent time over there, I'm the best source of information out of the three of us for that particular topic. Hold on, baby.
Well, I do have some theories on weirdos, because I've been told I was a weirdo, but you know what? As weird as I am, I'm not into that weird shit. Like, and these guys who dress these guys who dress in like suits and stuff, you know, they're getting peed on under a glass table. Yeah, like, makes no sense.
There's a lot of different types of weirdos in the world. You two are definitely on that spectrum, but like, it's a big spectrum. So
there's creeps. There's creeps and
there's
weirdos.
Creeps, yeah. Right. That's a good categorization.
Like to quote Maurice Moss from the IT Crowd, which if you've never seen that show is great, but he says, I like weird. Weird's all I've got. That and a sweet style, because he dresses all nerdy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you haven't seen the IT Crowd, dude, it's fucking
I like dressing.
It's hilarious. Chris O'Dowd's in it. It's like his first real show. He's like that Irish guy. Yeah. It's kind of funny. He was in some shit, but they kill it on that show. It's hilarious. All right, so we're going to get right into stuff tonight. One thing that I was thinking of this week that was just, because I like to have different thoughts that I'm driving around during the week thinking of shit, and I was like, you know what, I want to share this with the world. So, interesting thing about humanity and the dualities of the way we behave, okay, is the rock concert behavior, right? And that is, when you're at a rock concert, it doesn't have to be a rock concert, right? It could be any kind of concert, I guess. But there are a bunch of people, more or less from different backgrounds and walks of life, but they're all like this particular artist that they're going to see. And everyone's there, and you've got this massive amount of people, right? So it's like some stadiums are... What do you think's the biggest stadium in the world right now? Give me a number.
There's one in what's it called, Dubai, that's pretty damn big.
How big?
Like over 100,000 people, I assume.
Yeah, a lot of college football stadiums have 100,000 plus capacity.
So let's say, would you say it's feasible that there are 200,000 people somewhere at a rock concert?
Oh, and some of these, they weren't at stadiums, though. They were like at these
open
fields where like Queen was playing or something for like Live Aid.
Perfect example.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Woodstock.
Imagine.
Right.
This is the point. Okay, and Queen was a fucking sweet example, Dan. Yeah. All right, you see the videos of Freddie Mercury improving at Live Aid, right? And he's like, hey-oh. Hey-oh. Right? And the whole fucking crowd is in harmony, and nothing's on their mind except how often...
This is weird, Chris. You hit on something weird, because all these people show up for like the attention of 1 or 4 people.
Well, fine, but they're watching this one guy, and they're in total harmony. He's got everybody, and Freddie Mercury was obviously a special case, right? But whoever's up on stage has got everybody mesmerized, and you see people like crowds like swaying back and forth to the music, right? And clapping hands and singing the lyrics. And you're talking about 200 or 100,000 people in harmony. Even if it's just 1,000 people, it's still a fucking amazing phenomenon. And they're in harmony, and they're all like happy, and they're singing, and they're like enjoying this moment, and everyone's on the same wavelength. And then something happens around like a couple of, like 30 minutes before the show's going to end, where people's mind come back to reality, and they're like, oh, got to get back in the rat race. I got to get home early so I can get up early for work and blah, blah, blah. And so all these people that were 5 minutes ago giving each other high fives and like, hey, man, what's up? Isn't this the fucking best, right? Like, they're cutting each other's throats to get out of the aisle quicker. And they're like, they're like rushing to get to the car quicker so that they can like get out of the row faster so they can like get on the highway quicker and get
they
home.
do it in football games too.
Yes. So
baseball games.
Yeah,
exactly.
well,
Depends on what's going on.
Sports are different because even though there are moments of like awe and excellence when an athlete does an amazing thing, you got two opposing sides fighting each other, and so they're not all in the same. You don't have that same
tribal.
You don't have that. Yeah, it's us versus them. You don't have that same harmony of like a musical concert. So that's what I'm saying. So like, it's funny how 1 minute this event's going on that's bringing all these people into harmony, and they're all positive vibes and positive energy, and they're all just like into it. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, snap back to reality. Everybody fucking hates each other.
Road rage, trying to get out of the parking lot.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What the fuck? Where won't these people go?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. How do you go from that guy could have been the guy that you gave a high five to an hour ago in the show, and now you're like, this fucking asshole in front of me cut me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the summer before COVID, like not COVID summer, like 2 summers ago, I went to go see Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson at the Twins of Evil tour. It was awesome, and just the type of people that went and stuff, like, you just don't assemble these type of people normally. You know what I mean? Like,
elaborate on that.
Guys in like the craziest suits with like a trench coat or like a cape and a top hat and a cane.
Gothic.
And chicks, and chicks with fishnet stockings up their ass, and you know
that
tits out.
Big
tits.
Who doesn't like that?
Big boobies.
Who doesn't like that?
Oh, I love big boobies.
I
like any boobies.
Everybody likes big
I like
boobies.
all boobies.
I immediately regret flipping my mic because of the cord, but that's all right. So yeah, everybody does love big boobies. I have a whole segment that I want to call
I like little boobies.
Boobs Rule and People Drool. Because like guys, girls, everybody likes big tits. Even if they say they don't, they're just jealous that they don't have them. People that have big tits, like, and they're all girls.
I wish I could have them for
more
a
or
day.
less. Yeah, they
like just to try it out. Like, ooh, look at these tatas.
Dude, everybody's looking at them, and girls that have like a killer set of cans know it, and they know it, and that's like a feeling of confidence and like well-being that I can never really.
It's a weapon.
Fully under. Oh, it's a weapon. You can weaponize.
I think
it
women
for sure.
women who do have large boobs may be the only ones who hate them.
No.
Well, some of them do if they have
Some
back
of them do.
issues.
I know
or
a lot
if they just
of.
weigh them down.
I know a lot of women with large breasts have the argument of like, oh, it hurts my back, and that's 100% true. So I get that. Getting attention from all people all the time looking at your junk. Yeah, nobody likes that either. What that really boils down to is that they want people to look at their junk, but only the people that they think are attractive. They don't want other
discrimination.
People. Well, I mean, whatever. It's just how it is.
Well, ugly guys are discriminated against.
Well, yeah. What are you going to do? That's subjective, right? What's ugly and what's
that's
beautiful.
Why prostitution should be legal.
Agreed. But anyway,
big boobs, by the way, always a distraction, no matter what.
Always.
Totally brought us off topic there for a little while.
Bingo. Yeah, they did.
There's not even big boobs in the room.
They are. Yeah, no, I know. I wish there were. But that's true. But hopefully in a few weeks we can get that dominatrix girl on. And nah, she doesn't have
she's
big.
My master.
She doesn't have big boobs, but hopefully she does the show. But she's a cool chick. So hey, Alizé, hope you do the show. Anyway,
only if you give
that's her name, Alizé, like the booze, with a little
nice.
accent over the e. Yeah,
that's nice.
Yep. So hopefully she does the show. Nice lady. Met her at the gym. Anyway. So that's it. That's rock concert.
Let me add to that. I know you guys are both more in tune with rock music, but
should just be called concert phenomenon.
It should be just called concert, because if you go to our hip hop concert, probably the most mixed group of people that you'd ever see. Hip hop, pop, or R&B. Hip hop is the biggest music genre on the planet right now.
I think you're right. I had to process it for a minute, but I think you're right.
On the planet right now.
What, hip hop's the most popular?
Yes.
That's why there's like J-pop and K-pop in these other countries, because they don't they're like, yo, we're hip hop, but we're Korean. It's K-pop, motherfuckers. And then Japan was like, oh yeah, well guess what? We're J-pop assholes.
Right.
Jesus.
And it's just the beats are hip hop, but obviously
they have there's some really, really good foreign hip hop.
Yes.
Yeah, like French and stuff too.
I've even heard this week I downloaded. You don't know about this. This week I downloaded a song that's Middle Eastern hip hop, and it's an older song from Black Hawk Down, the movie. So it showed up in like my playlist, not in my playlist, but in like a station I was listening to.
Yeah,
and I heard it, and I was like, "Yo, this is some dope shit." It sounded Indian at first, so that's why I was, I like Indian philosophy. Indian culture, and so I was attracted to it, and then I looked into it and it turned out it was Middle Eastern, but it's still fucking dope. I'll let you listen to it later. But what were you saying? Hip hop?
I think that you have a hip hop tour, hip hop concert will have the most mixed group of people at it
For sure.
Possibly people who are on all different sides of the political spectrum.
For sure.
All different sides
Financial,
of the racial conversation. Financials, just like you said, economics, like all different.
Can I correct you? Can we call it ethnic backgrounds? Because I think racism is a stupid word. You know that.
Sure, but I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about race.
Because we're one.
Races.
We're one human.
There are different races.
We're one human race.
Right, but right now, that's an ideal. So
an ideal I strive towards.
Yeah, I know you do, but not everybody.
I'm an equal opportunity person.
Yeah.
If I could, I would make love to all the women of the world. And the great tragedy of my life is that it's just impossible to do it.
It's not possible. Right. We're talking about races. I mean, if you look at like me and like a Japanese guy, there's obviously different features and of the races. Like, I don't know how you could say there isn't like.
Yeah, but that's
races.
I think that's due to like. Old school clustering and being cut off from DNA, being cut off from other DNA sources.
No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or anything. It isn't anything. But it is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's obviously physical differences between people in different regions of the planet, but the best way we could just mix those up by everybody.
Oh yeah, someday there might be just one race. Right. Just like a hybrid, like just.
I think we already are the hybrids.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not talking species hybrid. I'm talking race hybrid.
Right, and I think the important thing, I know the ideal is to make is that one race, but we have to see the good things in all of our races right now. We have to recognize that. So, like, that's why I think hip hop is such a. When I brought
you're saying it brings people together.
Brings people together that are maybe normally not together. It's that. It's overall, like, to talk about your point, is that music is a thing that brings us all together and makes us forget our differences. And
for sure.
Enjoying
it's a good tie-in
together, yeah.
Can I tell you what brings people together more than hip-hop or anything else?
Go ahead.
Ganja.
Well.
In the old days, before weed was legal, if you had weed, it made you part of the club. And you could be from any other background, but if somebody else wanted some weed, you could share it with them. All of a sudden, you had common ground, and it just happens to increase creativity. So it did fuel a lot of hip hop. That's the facts.
Yeah,
Chris, there's nothing like being at a rock concert with your devil horns in the air, fucking headbanging,
it's a
rocking
different
out,
experience.
like
it's a whole different animal. It's the only way to go in my book.
It's a different,
totally
experience.
different. Yeah. I've been to both. I mean,
yeah.
I've been to both. I've seen Jay-Z and I've seen Motley Crue.
You've seen Jay-Z?
I saw it with your brother actually. At Summer Jam.
Oh yeah.
I think Jay-Z is one of the greatest hip hop artists. People go hip hop rappers.
I respect it. I just don't follow it anymore.
Hip hop artists of all time.
It's like sports. I don't follow sports anymore either.
Why should you?
I think that what you're
right.
saying.
I don't know.
Do you think so? You're saying that weed or any other drug is
just ganja,
convenient.
straight up.
Because I think that
I don't think cocaine brings people together like that.
Ganja's the nexus.
You can look at music in different eras and like judge the sound of it on the drugs they were using at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, the Eagles,
60s and
sure,
the
like
acid.
The sound of the 80s. What was that?
Cocaine and maybe. I don't know. I mean, the 80s were weird. We're going to have lots of talks.
We're going to have an 80s episode.
We're going to have a couple of them.
But even right now, like a lot of rappers are using this thing called lean, and it's like
gangsta lean.
No. Well,
remember
I guess
that?
yeah, I do. But
no diggity.
Lean is like it's like a cough medicine, a really strong cough medicine.
It's codeine.
Yeah, codeine, exactly.
Codeine and
that's like a watered down version of heroin.
Bingo.
Yeah. Oh, totally is.
Right. A lot
Cough
of rappers
medicine,
addicted.
Sprite, and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Codeine.
A lot of rappers are addicted to it, and you can hear it in their music. And like so now, I think that dictates sound.
That's heroin though.
Basically
heroin.
I've heard
it's like Nikki Sixx using heroin, but it's like in a bottle.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's a really addictive drug. What are you going to do?
Yeah, opiates are very addictive.
I don't have to tell you.
Talk about those. Sometime.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you. You're fully recovered. People that don't know, Dan's one of the only humans I know in history of the world since I've been alive that got full on hooked on opiates. One day was like, yo, I think you came to me, maybe. But definitely you went to your family first, but I think I was like one of the only people you told first.
I was
but
like, yeah,
you like, look, I've got a problem. And
lock me in the house. Don't listen to me. Don't trust me.
Yeah, and you were like straight up like
it's like The Exorcism.
You were like straight up like lock me down.
That sucks cocks in hell.
Yeah, no.
Dimmy, why you do this to me, Dimmy? I'm afraid.
Dude, the regret of last week's episode with James, the nurse anesthetist with the great ass, is that
Wait,
what are you laughing at?
Talk about that?
He doesn't have a great ass?
Oh, Jimmy has a great ass.
No, yeah. But the regret is that we didn't get into the his experience with detox, because he had to work like when he was doing his residency and learning shit, he had to work the detox and you know, like they'd be tying people in straitjackets and they would be cursing him out like, let me the fuck out of here.
Painful.
Give me some fucking drugs. And they were calling him horrible names, and he has to just be like, okay, sir, I have to check your heart rate now and, whatever. So yeah, I mean, we should have talked to him about that. We'll have him back on another time.
It's painful. Your whole body screams for it. Like, people don't understand. They're like, why don't somebody just quit?
Yeah, no, I get it. It's
very hard to quit.
It's an extremely hard thing. I mean, it's obviously not easier. There wouldn't be people like all over the world. All over the world hooked on it for the rest of their lives.
I'm not the only one that's done it, too. There are people that have done
No, but you're the most successful case that I've ever seen of like a complete...
You personally.
You got to be a fucking savage in life, all right?
Yeah, but in today's society, I mean, we know like... I mean, how many people do we fucking know that had a problem or have a problem, right? On pills or
people that have kicked it, but...
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not... It's not... It's the rarity.
It's definitely an outlier.
Anyway, not to focus too much on that. We were going to talk about the GameStop situation this week. I wanted to talk a little bit about it. I want to do a podcast on the fucked up shit that humans have decided to base the economy on. But that's a deep dive. We're going to have to do a little more research before we get on the air for that one. But we are going to do it. Because I think it's interesting to look at, and it's fucked up, and we should shine a light on it since,
right, like
1% of the people. Can I have the lighter?
Like, were you killed someone for sugar?
And people have died for rubber.
You took that sugar and traded it for
like the rubber industry
lead.
has been
like latex tree.
Like the rubber industry has been one of the worst atrocities to humans in the world. Like as bad as it gets. They the we're not going to get too into it, but like I think Belgium was in the Congo and they were like mutilating people in villages that weren't following the rules, and like they enslaved villages for like the rubber trade, right? And then in South America this happened, and like whenever rubber was really hot to the scene, I want to say it was probably like late early 1900s, right? Rubber was probably at its peak, but in South America, they had some wipeouts of some tribes by Westerners that were just totally violent, for the rubber trees. And these people regressed. You'll love this, Danimal. They regressed into the forest so far that the white people couldn't find them, right? The white devils.
Forests go real deep.
Yes, in the Amazon they do. And so what happened is these fuckers like told their kids like, hey, don't ever leave the forest. There's this horrible group of people out there. And then they told their kids, but after the life expectancy is like 40, 50 years in the rainforest. So like, after a certain amount of time, like with the natural like rebellion of youth and whatnot, like the 18 and 19-year-olds are like, fuck that. I don't believe in that shit. We're going out. And that and deforestation from farming has brought like these these like indigenous people in touch with like modern people, and they're having like fights with like bows and arrows. And
they got their own Instagram page.
No, these people are living Stone Age lives, and they're like looking at the only thing they know about the people outside is that they're super dangerous and will kill you. So they just shoot them on sight with a fucking bow and arrow. And the people in Peru and the government and stuff are like, listen, these people are protected. You can't fucking shoot them back. And so the farmers are literally getting killed by fucking blow darts and arrows and shit. And they've got rifles and shotguns, and they're not supposed to fight back. But what are you going to do, right? So they're obviously killing some of these people. But it's a topic for a different time. But Macca, give me the broad strokes. What was the GameStop fiasco about? Because I'm a gamer and I love gaming, but I was happy that
it doesn't have much to do with gaming.
It has nothing to do with gaming, but I was happy that company was the company that like they chose. They were like, you know what, gaming, right. And it is a good. If you think about it, with I don't know if you guys know. With the communist lockdown from COVID-19 all around the world, because that is what's going on. The world got locked down, period.
Well, talk about the economy. You just basically shut it down and say, hey, you can't have your business anymore.
Yeah, no, that's...
If we don't make shit, we don't have shit.
No, that's all there is to it. But
the top 10 people in the world increase their wealth by 30%.
Oh, and then they get all butthurt when somebody takes it from them. Oh, my stocks went down.
During this lockdown...
Or went up, for that matter.
During this lockdown, video game consoles, accessories, purchases, they went through the fucking roof. Because kids, adults, everyone's locked in their houses with nothing to do but game and whatever. So GameStop's actually probably been doing really well, except for the fact that everyone was ordering things over the internet,
right.
And they are a brick and mortar store, which is kind of a thing that's going out of style.
Well, you used to order on Amazon. You want something,
right? Yeah. It's why would you? Why am I going to go somewhere?
I heard they were complaining they want like oversight for like they bet on stocks going down and got fucked over.
Give me like the broad strokes, baby. What happened?
Well, here's the deal. This is one of the most historic weeks in the history of American finance, possibly global finance, but definitely Wall Street. Okay? So what happens, the high level, I don't really understand this. I'm not a financial advisor, so don't listen to anything I say. But basically,
take it with a grain of salt.
Borderline,
please listen to it.
Or organized group of
how many people?
Redditors. I don't know where the number started.
Reddit is very resourceful.
Led by, there's this Reddit group called Wall Street Bets.
Okay, so these guys are savvy guys.
Maybe.
I mean, it sounds like...
I think they might be.
Sounds like they knew what the fuck they were doing.
They certainly don't claim to be. But, so anyways, it's called Wall Street Bets. They have people that aren't working in, or maybe they are, I don't know. They're not high-level hedge fund managers or anything like that. They're people that understand the market, and they play it, and they talk to each other, they share each other's information, say, hey, I just bet on this, or I just invested in this, it took off, you should jump on it, things like that. And they share information, and so this week, so I don't know if it really started this week, I'm not sure when it started, but GameStop was beginning, GameStop's a failing company, or it was. Their stock was down to like maybe $4.
They just had a massive cash injection.
The hedge funds, one in particular, I think, but a lot of the hedge funds were shorting it, which you're going to have to Google to find out what that means. But
so that basically means like they're saying, I think this thing's going to suck in 6 months, dump it.
It's basically,
which makes people say, oh, we should get rid of it, which devalues the stock.
There's a process to what they do, and I don't 100% know it, so I
think this all proves we're a trio of fucking monkeys who can't fucking explain anything about this.
Right.
None of us know anything about it.
Well, let me finish. So basically,
we know some stuff.
I'm saying
you're like vague. Like,
what do you want me to do? I don't watch the news.
If you want to know what shorting something is on Wall Street, fucking Google it.
But did I get it right? Is that what it is?
I don't think so.
I kind of understand what shorting is.
Yeah. Well, let me get past it. I'm just going to use the verb, and you guys can fucking Google it, okay? So these hedge funds short GameStop, right? They short GameStop, and then these Redditors organize in a very democratic. There's no leader. There's no real structure to the organization, and it's under the Reddit group Wall Street Bets. There's a bunch of individuals that come together and share information. They said, "All right, let's buy these GameStop shares." At whatever amount, whether it's $4,
to affect it.
And they bought enough so that now the price of a GameStop share is $310 or $325. And so now at some point in the near future, these hedge funds have to buy back this stock because they shorted it. And whatever the process of shorting it means that they bet on it to lose.
On margin.
They bet on it to lose. And now they have to buy it back or they have to pay for their positions on it.
It's gambling.
It's essentially gambling, but it's so high level up there. They're like, these companies are going to fail, so we can do this and make a bunch of money off of it.
Am I allowed to read the...
Go ahead.
Am I allowed to read the definition of short selling?
Yes.
From Investopedia. Short selling is an investment or trading strategy that speculates... Dan, don't fall asleep. That speculates... I know, I'm talking about stuff that sucks, though. It speculates on the decline of stock or other security price. Traders may use short selling as speculation, and investors or portfolio managers may use it as a hedge against the downside risk of a long position in the same security or related blah, blah, blah. Sounds like a bunch of fucking bull. Yep, Dan went out. Sounds like a bunch of fucking bullshit. I honestly, I hate the stock market. I think it should be abolished.
Sure, but what happened
Futures market should be abolished.
But so this week alone, one of the biggest hedge funds in America fucking lost $3 billion.
And they're up in arms.
And they're
we need more regulation, and they hate regulation.
And they hate regulation, but they want to regulate retail investors.
You don't have poor people affecting us like this.
But think about this. You bought... Let's say you bought 100 shares at $4 each, right?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Those shares are now worth $325.
Yeah, I have a lot of friends on the internet that I game with that bought it, and they were like, yeah, man, we just made like $5,000.
But now I
gotta pay more attention to this shit.
Now this Wall Street Bets group, who are not a group, they're a group of individuals who are having conversation on the internet,
like-minded individuals, are
holding. They're not going to sell, and that would mean that the price of this stuff will still keep going up because people are going to be like, oh, if they have to sell. And these people aren't selling, so that's going to shoot the price up.
So they cornered the market,
so
and
essentially,
now they're holding it.
And they're really fucking over these hedge funds.
These stocks could go to like 5,000.
But did GameStop themselves actually get any money?
I don't know the process of that, but at the end of the day, I think yes. We could be looking at...
Oh, they have dividends, right?
Yes, yeah. I mean, but where does that money...
Is that word right?
Where does that come from? Dividends is the money you get. It's like, yes, it was...
One of the main...
The shareholders
Most
get
everything
dividends.
I have is from Monopoly.
That's what these people are buying. That's what they're getting paid right now, is a dividend on the stock that they own.
Right.
It's like
a rake.
If you hold it,
correct.
Then the hedge fund people can't... They want to buy it now, but they're not. What they're doing right now is
stop this.
All these strategies to make it look like that it's being sold, so people are getting scared and they sell it. But really, what's happening is they're just like shifting it back and forth between each other, and it makes it look like the stocks are being sold, so other people get scared and sell. So it dips. It'll be like, all right, now, like on Friday, it dipped. It was up at like 350 or 335, and it dipped down to like 265, and then it closed at 320.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
Well,
so
here's my 2 cents.
AMC is another one that all these guys are getting back, and I'm telling you, if you have Reddit, just go on the fucking page and just read the comments. It's wildly entertaining.
AMC's in the toilet because nobody can go to the movies.
Right, but these guys are backing it, and their shares aren't that pricey, but they're part of the next phase.
I'm not an economist, but it doesn't make sense to me to back something that's not doing well on its own financially.
Because it's all betting on shit. There's not anything real.
Casino invest. Yeah,
I want to get into. I'm dying to know what you got coming at me for Bizarre Beyond Belief. So I want to get into that, but this is my 2 cents on what I think about what you just told me.
Let me just end on this.
Go ahead.
Basically, what's happened is that some people that may not have a lot of money but want to get into investing in the stock market may have literally just become millionaires. Like people in this group that is like 7 million strong right now.
Good.
Put $5,000 on it, and then
if you bought 1,000 $4 squares and they're now worth 300, and they're hoping it goes to like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000.
Yeah, you're rich, bitch.
You're fucking rich.
All right.
changed your.
That's why I want to pay attention to this shit more.
You're gonna have to pay motherfucking.
I'm gonna
taxes.
join a group like that.
Because of this.
The long hairs
all sorts
don't do
of
that?
little groups are starting.
No, they don't.
All sorts of little. These like this
No.
like guy. I'm on social media. I know Star.
It's good, dude.
This guy opens up a little group on
Sure,
Reddit
dude,
or
for
whatever,
sure.
Discord, whatever these fucking.
It's
chat
almost
groups
like
are.
insider trading, like they're manipulating the market.
I don't know if it is though. But
Well,
it sort of is.
You know what?
It's doing the same thing that the hedge funds are doing.
So this is
It's
started.
not shorting. It's
I
squeezing.
mean, the hedge funds advertise and basically sell shit. So
Right.
like, why can't they do
It's
that?
the same thing.
Together.
It's just the other side of the short.
They're just getting
Hey.
like-minded individuals.
Listen,
That's it.
let me tell you something. I'm happy that this is a. First of all, it sounds like they stuck it to the man, which
Seems like it.
which I'm always a fan of sticking it to the man. So right out of the gate, cheers for these guys. Again, I'm a gamer. GameStop is a cool store. I like having that as a reality when I go to a shopping mall, going into a game store and being able to like talk to nerds and be like, "Hey, what's up? What's the cool
People
new
have
game?"
complaints about GameStop, though, too.
Whatever.
You know what I mean? Like,
And I like being able to see if there's. It's rare, but sometimes cool chicks that are hot work at these stores, and I'm like, "Whoa, I want a cool hot video game."
there's hot
chick.
gaming chip.
Yeah, I know there are. So, well, the reason they're hot and that they're good at the game, the two together is what makes them successful. Just being good at the game is not good enough.
Oh, no.
Because there's like a whole bunch of not hot people.
If
that
you're some
are good at the game.
slob who's good at games, it doesn't matter what you are.
They didn't make it to the top of the list. But anyway, good for GameStop. As far as it spreading and turning into a movement, I don't know. That sounds like the genie's out of the bottle now, and that this is just going to become a thing, and that wealth will probably redistribute some wealth, which is good.
But they're trying to get on top of it so it never happens again.
Yeah.
So there's laws against it.
The downside of it is that right now, and it's not really a downside because it's making people that don't have money, which is good because they're going to go out and spend that money, which we need. Whereas like
A lot of them use the
like
stimulus, too. People use the stimulus. to
what
do
I'm
it.
saying is these rich pigs that run Wall Street, they don't lose money, they don't spend money, they just keep making it and gaining it, right? But then they don't really put it back out into the economy the way normal people do. They're not going to go out. Yeah, they'll go out and buy a Ferrari, whatever. But they spend money, but it's hard to say who spends money and who doesn't. But there is a theory. An economic theory, and it's kind of like if you put a bunch of different size nuts into a container and shake them up, all the small ones go to the bottom, the medium ones, then the next largest size, and then the biggest ones are always at the top. There's a theory that if you took all the wealth in the world and distributed it evenly among the world's population, that in like a very short period of time, like
There would still be poor people eventually in the middle class.
not even that, like a year or two or 10 years, let's call it 10 years from then. The people that had money before would get it back, and the people that were a bunch of like broke basic bitches that don't know anything, like
No, they would spend it.
they'd blow it all on fucking shoes and getting their hair done and their nails done and their weave and fucking new Jordans and fucking just junk. Whatever, I'm just saying they're gonna blow it. They're gonna blow it on
a little targeted to one.
No, they're gonna whatever. They're gonna blow it on aesthetics, dude. It's fucking. It has nothing to do with.
I blow lots on aesthetics.
And people are gonna gamble it away, and people are gonna blow it up their nose with drug. You know what I'm saying? It's not targeted at any one group. It's just if you have money right now, it's for a reason. You're better with it than most people, and that's how That's how you'll see that when you meet people that are wealthy. You'll see that a lot of them are like you think that they're like cheap, but they're just watching their money. They're constantly thinking about their money. They just put so much energy into it, and that as a result, they have money.
I see what you're saying. I think I'm a pretty motivated guy. If I was actually motivated by money, and that was like my primary goal, I think I could handle that.
Right, but if you spent like all day long just constantly, all you did was think your mind on your money and your money on your mind.
Yeah.
That eventually you'd achieve results.
Of course.
But regular people don't do that because they have to toil to get through just to survive, right?
It's frivolous,
But
too.
there are people that come up with nothing and get stuff, and it's because they work hard and are smart and are good with money. That's all I'm saying.
Money's a byproduct of doing good.
There's also a thing called generational wealth.
Yeah, but
the majority of the people that are on
those kids will piss that money away.
Their parents are hedge fund people.
Yeah,
their great grandparents are fucking hedge fund.
No, I hear you, but
some of the wealth is so much, so you can't even.
You can't piss it away.
No, I hear you. There's so much money, but eventually they'll piss it away. It could take 10 generations, but if they're like. It takes discipline to handle that.
I don't think you can piss away $1 billion,
dude. You see it all the time.
If you're a hedge fund person,
no, $1 billion's a lot of money, but you see it all the time with. You see it all the time with professional athletes. You see it all the time.
That's millions, though, low millions.
I know,
right.
But I'm saying money's money. It's all relative. What I'm saying is that
you're also paying people, so you're not making as much.
Yeah, these people are so rich. They're paying people.
LeBron James is never going to piss away his money. Michael Jordan's never going to piss.
They're smart guys that went to college and are educated.
LeBron James did not go to college.
Yeah, but those players aren't the wealth, the owners of the wealth. They just say, here, buddy,
Yeah, right. You got recruited right out of high school, huh?
And Jordan was a sophomore, I think, or junior maybe.
They're still smart guys. College has nothing to do with that.
Why finish college? It's
smart guys.
It's full of shit anyway. Might as well go right to the pros.
College is a fucking joke. You get educated, but you can learn this stuff on TV.
There's stigma that you need. These guys don't finish. They're idiots. No, go
agree.
right into the pros as soon as you can.
That ruined the economy. That put all kids in debt.
Yeah.
100%.
Let's not talk about that crap anymore. I hope everybody makes some money. My one concern is that these people that run the economy right now, they seem to know how to keep it stable. But fuck it. I mean, I like switching shit up. So let the little guys form groups and run it and redistribute that wealth.
This is a check to that system.
Fuck yeah.
So that system goes unregulated, unfucking checked. The governments bail them out or they protect them. Our government.
Turn your head.
Our government bails them out or we protect them. We don't
the
make
government
laws.
bails
We don't
bullshit.
tax them.
No, those people are controlling the government straight up.
Absolutely. This is and media.
They're controlling the dialogue, baby.
This is
controlling
a check to that system. They don't give a fuck about
the narrative.
The Capitol riots. They don't give a fuck about the Black Lives Matter riots. They fucking are above that shit. It's not even a matter. It doesn't matter to them unless it affects certain things that they can fucking short or they can fucking put money into and invest into.
Insanity.
So fuck them.
Hey, I'm glad it happened.
'em.
I'm glad it happened. I'm glad it shook everything up. I like stirring up the pot. All right, baby. Give me a minute. I'm going to take a sip of Diet Pepsi. Compose your thoughts. And then I want to hear what you've got for me and what the.
Oh, me?
I'm talking to you, buddy.
Oh boy! All right, so I completely forgot. No.
All right, hang on.
All right, so
I'm ready.
Yeah, no, it's nothing special, but last night it is pretty special actually. That's the point of it. Last night I had animal sex with my wife. She's gonna be very happy that I said this, but those biting and slapping asses, and just she's just very aggressive. She's on top and spelled her name on me. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of shit. So
I have a question.
That is?
I have several questions immediately.
Yeah.
Is this the bizarre beyond belief?
No, this isn't. No. I got.
This is. You're just letting us know that.
No. It's going somewhere.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
So part of it, I almost crack up every time because I think, wow, what would my 14-year-old self think of this?
I can tell you.
I want to slap him 5 and be like, dude. You wouldn't even believe it, man. Like it's going to happen. So, yeah.
Hang in there, kids.
What do you think about that? Just hang in there, buddy. You know what I mean? Like someday she's going to let you do all this shit to her.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up.
And she's going to reciprocate.
Man, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. I got a buddy of mine. His name's Matt. Polish name, last name. Who the hell can say that? Not me. I'm sorry, they're difficult names to pronounce. They use a lot of Z's and things at the beginning, but they're silent. I don't know how to pronounce the kid's name, but he's Australian.
He's an Australian Polish guy.
Yeah, he's Australian, but he's hardcore Australian. Like he's Australian to the core. He's so he's the poster child for like believing in like whatever Australia is selling him. He loves Australia. He loves the country. He loves the history of the country. Whatever. Anyway, I play video games with this motherfucker. That's why I'm friends with him. He's actually a kid, and I've been friends with him for a long time because kids play video games, and I'm a grown up, but whatever. Grown ups play too, as evident by the massive streaming economy. That's driving the economy a little bit right now. The streamers and shit and the internet. But this dude's got a bad stutter, and he's tall, so he should have some confidence. He's like 6'3". but he's got a stutter.
Oh my God, if I was 6'3", I'd be fucking president.
I know you would. So he's got a stutter, and it comes out when he's nervous. And so this has led to him having a hard time with the girls, okay? And he's been made fun of in school and stuff. And so now he's like graduating high school, and he's out in the world. And I've told him, like, dude, when you get out of high school, it's like way less bullshit you got to deal with, and you're going to find someone and blah, blah, blah. So I always tell him be patient. But my real advice to him is to turn his weakness into a strength, okay? I think he should go up to girls and be like, write it down. You know what? I'll go, if I want to meet a girl in like the grocery store, or it doesn't matter where the fuck it is, I'll write it down on a piece of paper. I'll be like, hey, I want to go to dinner sometime. Here's my name. Here's my number. Look him in the eye. Maybe say it, and then just walk away and don't say or do anything stupid. And if they
they're either going to call you or they're not.
Yeah, right. But just zip it. Get out of there before you fuck it up, okay, is the point. So this dude's got a stutter. So what I told him is that he needs to turn that into a focal point instead of trying to avoid it, because you can't avoid it, right?
Can't avoid it.
Right. He's going to stutter when he gets nervous, and the more he gets nervous, the more like I knew this kid for a long time.
Start sweating in his eyes, start moving around.
I knew him for a long time before I even picked up that he had a stutter. And some people that hear him don't get it, that they don't even hear it at all. But it does sometimes, like he will lose it, and then like whatever. But I told him turn that frown upside down. Tell girls like, hey, I've got a stutter, and it gets bad when I'm nervous, and you make me nervous. And
what if you can't get that out though?
Yeah,
you got to write it down. Put an exclamation with a capital Y-O-U.
Yeah, but that sounds like some sort of serial killer would give somebody.
Well, listen,
I have a stutter, and you make it go away.
Hey, no,
come out with me.
Listen, we're gonna have to agree to disagree.
Please come out with me.
But the message is that sooner or later, some girl's going to think that that's hot. That like, oh, wow, I make him nervous.
Sweet.
And sooner or later, he's going to hit pay dirt. And sooner or later, he's going to be
pay dirt.
Sooner or later, he's going to be having animalistic sex with some woman who's going to be biting him and reciprocating. And that's all I'm trying to say.
He's going to be running to the bathroom after and trying to pee with a big hard boner. You can't. You gotta like bend over weird. You know, I was thinking too, like, what about the weird shit people do when nobody's looking?
Why?
It's like people do weird shit that they don't want anybody to see.
Why do you have to pee with a big old boner? Don't you?
It just won't go away.
Why? Aren't you 38?
I just won't go. I'm sorry. That's just the way I'm built. It just won't go away.
How long can you keep it up?
I took Viagra like 4 hours.
Whoa! Time out. You threw Viagra in there, but I don't know if you're saying it's like you did it, but you didn't.
Yeah, no, I don't do it.
So you're saying
I have a built-in Viagra.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should study you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I'll get like in front of the mirror. I have a big tall mirror. I'm completely naked, and I'll like do a little dance. I'll like check myself out, do a little pelvic thrust.
Wow, you're bringing it this week.
So
you're coming out swinging this week.
I'm just saying though that humans do weird shit when nobody's looking. They scratch weird shit. They smell weird shit. Like, and I think we don't see that. People are too afraid. They get caught sometimes and they feel all weird.
You see people
if
picking their
saw
nose
what
in traffic.
and if somebody saw what I was doing like that, they think I was a weirdo.
Right.
So what you
And
decided?
maybe I am,
what you decided was
not a creep though.
Not a creep. I just I'm in front of the mirror. I do a little pelvic thrust.
You decided this week.
jump back in bed.
Show up, get on the internet, and tell everybody that this is what I've been doing.
Yeah, I don't hold anything back.
I love it. You came out hard this week.
I like what you said in general though is like when you're a teenager and you're like and you imagine I could talk to that kid right now and say,
God,
what you just
can
did.
Can you please endorse my buddy from Adelaide? Can you tell any listeners in Australia and any girls in Adelaide area that Matt, whose Polish name escapes me, Wingman, is his name on? He's my wingman on the internet.
Make his day.
This is a gamer.
Can you? Yeah, he's a gamer. Okay. Can you tell him that someday he's going to hit pay dirt? And
let me ask you a question.
He's going to have his face in a muff.
How many hours a day is he playing games?
Hello, Mike.
Not as much. No, you know what they say? They say, "Hey, how you going, mate?
How you going, Mike?
How you going? Hey, how you going, mate?"
That's pretty cool.
That's what they say.
Okay, first of all, he should move here because that accent enough.
I told him that.
Will be huge.
I told him that. I'm like, dude. I call him Winger. His name's Matt, but I call him Winger. I'm like, Winger, didn't you ever see that movie where that nerd from England moved to the U.S. and got laid by all the hot chicks because he was exotic from Britain?
Oh yeah.
I was like, dude, you got to go to college in America. Yeah. and be the cool Australian guy, and dudes are going to want to party with you. Chicks are going to want to sit on your face. Your stutter's going to disappear after sophomore year because you're going to have so much confidence that you're the awesome Aussie, right?
Yep.
And the thing is I think it's like a financial thing. It's like he's working as a carpenter's apprentice, which is like a good job for a kid out of high school, and like he doesn't want to go to college because he had such a miserable fucking high school experience, which I think
he's got to get on it though, because the older he gets, the weirder it's going to get.
Right.
What do you mean? You're telling him the longer he goes without...
Don't think it's like a ticking time bomb or anything, but you also don't want to be 50 and still looking for that.
He's like...
someone to touch your wiener.
Don't let it linger.
I think he's like maybe... Yeah. He might be 18.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah, he's good, dude. He's well within the normal range of when people pop their cherry.
Chris dropping notes off with girls, though, and you doing it, it's a little different.
True that.
Like leave it on their car, or like on their door at home, being
it's the same thing with the
I've been watching you, and I can't approach you because I have a really bad stutter, but I'd like to take you out some time. Here's my MySpace.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Chris is in a fucking full Adidas tracksuit with a goatee
Chris
beard.
Is a different category.
Smooth shaven
now, but a goatee beard that's in Viking fucking hoops or whatever.
Braids. But listen,
braids.
Maybe,
Thank you.
Not really braids.
Don't apologize. Don't ever apologize.
Maybe leave out the "I've been watching you" part. Just say like, "Hey, I think you're attractive. I'd like to take you to dinner sometime." Whatever.
Someone might like the "I'm watching."
Then once, all right, okay, fine. I want to refine my statement. Okay,
yeah.
Phase 1. Phase 1 will consist of exactly how I normally do things. You go up to a person, you give him a piece of paper, and you say, "Hey, how you going?" He can get that out.
How you going,
if he can't get out, "Hey, how you going?" You're on your own, Junior. That's what I call him, Junior. If you can't get out, "Hey, how you going?" That's it. You slip him your number. It's got your name, and you write a little cute note like, "I think you're hot, want to take you to dinner." Then you get out of there. Now, at that point, if the girl texts him or hits him up on Instagram or however the kids fucking communicate this day, then he can disclose to her that he has a stutter and that it gets bad when he's nervous. And it's all on how you sell it.
If it gets really bad and she doesn't know about it, he's going to have a panic attack trying to get words out.
Yeah, he needs to be like...
I'm getting one just thinking about it.
He needs to text her and be like... All he needs is to hook a girl to text him once. And then once he's got that open communication line, because that's how people communicate now anyway, he can then get with like, "Hey, I think you're cute, blah, blah, blah." And there's no stutter involved. Then once she likes him, like after a few texts or whatever, if she's still cool... he can move into phase 2 or 3. I don't know what phase we're on right now, but which the next phase of the execution, which is going to be like, "Hey, I've got a stutter. It comes out when I'm nervous. I think I'm hot for you, whatever." And, I know you got to play it cool. And some girls you don't say that to, but he's got a stutter. So he's got to come in. He's got to lead with it. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying.
There's nothing you can do about it.
All I'm saying is nothing.
It's not fair if I shoot the date and not 5 for 5.
Right. It's not his fault. It's there and we can't get rid of it. So let's just put it out there, move past it, and see who wants to have sex with him. That's all I'm saying. And his situation is no different than any other guy's situation. He's going to go up to a group of girls. That could be 10, that could be 100, it could be 50. It doesn't matter what the number is. He's going to ask out X amount of girls. They're going to either say yay or nay, and out of that group, he's either going to be successful or unsuccessful with the percentage that said yay. And that's how it works for everybody.
Chris, do you think it's amazing that all the guys out there that send dick pics, like out of context dick pics?
I think it's...
You know why? I think I know why they do this.
I can't believe weird. It's a thing, actually.
It's because they want to see, like, unsolicited, out of context boobies or vagina. So they think that, she wants to see the package.
Well...
Your thoughts?
These are my thoughts on dick pics. One... I can't believe those are a real thing.
Yeah,
unsolicited.
Because it's
loser sitting there.
Because it's weird.
Out,
it's weird to send your dick to a chick if you're not already banging her. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Having sex, hooking up, making love. However you want to put a label on it. If you guys aren't already doing coitus, I don't think you should be sending private photos. That being said, girls do send pictures to me sometimes before I've hooked up with them where I'm like, whoa, yeah, Yahtzee. Well, why do you think it's
unsolicited?
Different? Yeah, sometimes, often. But I
know you want to see it.
But I do know that a lot of girls lately have told me, just people I know in life, they're like, "Oh God, dick pic," and you start seeing it in TV. Like girls are like, "Would you get a dick pic?" And so like,
well, constantly they're getting it out of context. It's not like they've been talking to a guy.
It's obviously a thing, and to bring coolness to the
I
name of
love
our
it.
show.
I love how
can't believe
they don't say hi though. They just present their dick like
Yeah.
here it is.
that might not be a real thing, is what I want to say, but unfortunately,
We know it's a real thing.
I think it is a real thing. That being said, this is what I think. As a guy who has a decent sized piece of equipment down there, you know the penis is fluctuates in size, right? You go swimming, you're freezing, the thing shrinks up.
Not when you have a 4-hour boner.
You got a 4-hour boner, that thing looks like
pretty consistent.
It's hard as a rock, like a pillar coming out of your body, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, it changes size.
It changes size, yeah.
So when you're walking around wearing a pair of jeans, it's nobody really knows what's going on down there. No. They might speculate. They might be like, "Oh, I bet you that kid's got a tiny, ding dong or a little winky."
That's really hard to spot.
A dinky. They might look at you and be like, "Oh, I bet that guy's got a hog." Like Double J, right, Josh? Like you would not expect him to have a small penis. If he did, it would be weird.
Yeah.
Right? He's probably got a hog, right? Yeah. I've never seen it in full action, but it's got to be a hog.
Maybe he has a dinky do.
If he has a dinky do, which I was going to ask you about
You know
that.
what that is?
Yeah, you told me it's when your belly sticks out more than your dinky do. All right. So what I'm saying is that if he had a tiny dinky, you'd be like, that's fucked up. So you have to believe when you look at him that he's got to have a big one, because if he didn't, it would be weird. But
everything else is big.
But the point is, you don't know for sure.
No, you don't. It's
and
totally
so
separate
and so what I don't like about it is that I know that I'm equipped well. And the only time a girl knows that I'm equipped well is that I've already done all the work and put in I've already jumped through all the hoops and gone through all the exercises of getting her to want to mate with me, right? Whatever that is, right? So she knows the secret's out. Oh, this guy's, he's good in the sack. I'll go back for some more of that, right? But new girls or people that I don't know, they have no idea. So they're like, you could go up to them and they're like, hey, buddy, I don't know who you are, but just get the fuck out of here. But like chicks bringing it back to big tits, when you've got big tits, there's no hiding. Yeah. No hiding. So everybody's walking around, and it's advertising. It's like, hey, who wants to hook up with these big boobies, right? Yeah. But I can't do that.
No, you can't just
I'm walking around in jeans, and my penis could be a different size at any given point in the day.
Yeah.
So
you can't just present your dick in a box.
So I feel I understand guys that have a big dick wanting to send a picture and let people know, hey, this is what you could be getting. A lot of
times they send it soft though.
That makes no sense.
I don't think it matters the size. I think they're just
you can make anything look big in a picture
and
showing them, shooting them out there.
If they're tiny dinks and they're sending pictures, then I mean.
Wait, I got a story. So this guy in my
was that the bizarre beyond belief?
No, but this guy in my in my hair group that I'm in, he was talking to this guy in the group, and they were just chatting it up about lifting weights. And he sends him a dick pic out of nowhere. He meant to send it to another girl.
Oh.
It was so embarrassing.
Damn.
That's all the story is.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah. And the guy blocked him right away. He didn't have time to explain. He was like, he told me this guy sent me a dick pic. I'm like, why would he send you a dick pic? That guy's such a Christian. Like, this guy's so religious.
I'm pretty sure one of our brothers has sent photos of some other guy's dicks to us before as like a as like a joke.
Recently,
but it's not like his dingy.
I've never sent my penis over the airwaves once whatsoever. I've never taken a picture of it. To be honest,
I definitely have, but only.
I've never solicited. That's kind of weird, actually. I've never taken a picture of my dinky.
You should.
Yeah.
You don't seem like a shy guy after all the stuff you hit me with.
Certainly
earlier.
Not shy.
So you should photograph it for posterity.
Yeah, I should.
You could look at
what if I die this thing? Who's going to have an image of it?
Not me.
No.
I hope I will.
I should make a casting of it. I should make a live casting of it.
I want it.
Plaster cast.
Put that in your will and testament that I get that cast.
All right.
Put Sean's a witness.
Okay.
I'll sign.
I get the cast of your fully erect ding dong.
Does it have?
I wonder how you keep it erect because there's 7 minutes of the stuff setting.
You just told me. You just told me you could keep your dick hard.
Oh no, I know, but like it's different. I think it's. I don't know. I just think it's different when it's.
It's cold plaster.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to get rid of it.
I told you they probably use Viagra. All right,
have you always been like that, Dan, or is this?
You wouldn't know.
Is the pacemaker?
No. I'm in better shape now too, so it's easier for me now because I had a situation a few months ago where I was like 35 pounds heavier and I couldn't keep it up.
Yeah.
So now it's like diamond in an ice storm. But I would I can't even lay behind my wife and spoon with my wife without getting a boner. Like my penis is completely independent from my brain. It's just like, is it a tushy?
I've known.
Is it a tushy?
How long have you guys been married?
12 years. We've been together for 7. I mean, married for 12, been together for 7. No, wait.
What happened the first 5 years?
Wait.
You guys
switch that. We've been together for 12 years and married for 7.
Okay, so you guys, I've known you guys for.
I like the first explanation better.
Yeah, for sure.
Much more fun.
Yeah.
12 years married, 7 years together.
Yeah,
12 years married, 7 years together.
It actually makes sense if you. It makes sense if you flip it around. Like, you're together for the first 7 years, and then the last 5 you're married, but you guys don't go near each other because you hate each other.
No, we have a good relationship.
But no, I know you guys do. That's what I'm saying. Is that you? Out of all the people I know, you guys have a very, very what I would consider to be healthy carnal nightlife. If you could restrict your mating habits to the hours of night. Because I know from both sides, because she tells me stuff when we're at work. That you guys do it during the daytime all the time.
We sneak up into a bedroom.
Sean, these people are legit animals. Like, they got 4 kids running. Listen, they got 4 kids running around the house.
Right.
Where's the toys? Well, I want to cook something. What's going on? They got all these other things going on, so they just randomly drop whatever they're doing in the middle of the day. Fucking bang each other in the bathroom.
We did that yesterday.
Fuck in the bathroom, and then right back to life. Maybe an hour will go by, they'll be cooking some chicken, and then what a fuck? All right, let's go. They have a very healthy sex life.
That's really good. That's important, man.
You know
Yeah, I'm not lying. You do.
I got a vasectomy.
Thank the Lord's a cold.
Well, you know what's funny is the guy who did my vasectomy, the doctor, when I got in there, I looked at him like, this guy has a ponytail. I was like, this is fucked up.
He's a long hair.
I didn't like it, though, because I'm like...
Made you
my wife said, well, you have a ponytail. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a doctor.
So
why the fuck does this doctor have a ponytail?
So you discriminated against him for his long hair.
Yeah, and he did a really good vasectomy, too. It hurt really bad. He stuck needles into my dick. But
yeah, it's the worst. I've had it done. It's the worst.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what's the best is a testicular ultrasound. Who, baby?
I've never gotten that one.
I'll tell you what. You should go to the doctor and tell him you've got a pain in your testicle, because he will order one up and insurance will pay for it. And I'll tell you what.
That's a lot of things.
What happens? What happens?
Just the experience.
Walk us through it.
In my particular instance, I was younger when it happened, and cancer runs in my family, so I was like, I'm always worried about getting cancer. I'm not worried about it. I'm just conscious that it's going to occur.
Cancer of the prick.
Some kind of cancer. Cancer of the prick.
Look me up in the dictionary. It'll show my face.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was, in my early 20s, maybe, I had a painful lump in one of my testicles, and I was freaked out. I was like, oh God. And as you know, I'm also a sexual person. I'm not married like you. I don't have a wife.
Yeah, I don't do it with anybody else.
I don't mate with
one person.
with my wife 10 times a day, but I am a sexual person. And what I'm saying is that I was freaked the fuck out, because I was like, oh shit, I got testicular cancer. They're going to cut my nuts off. I'm not going to be able to have sex. And to me, that was like a death sentence. I was like, I'd rather blow my brains out. But anyway, he goes,
without a penis, it's over.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, you got to get a testicular ultrasound. I'm like, okay. So he sends me to the wherever they do the sonograms, whatever. And I get in there. It's like a mildly attractive girl working the thing, right? The equipment.
Yeah.
My equipment and the medical equipment. I'd probably put her at like a 6, maybe a 7. I don't know. She wasn't
right
like
away.
She wasn't.
Listen.
So she's not like a dime, but she's like a fairly attractive girl. And I'm in there, and I'm like, Jesus. And so she takes out the gel, and it's like this cold gel at first, but she she puts on a glove and starts rubbing it all over my junk. And it
How
feels.
old are you?
I'm like 25, and it feels fucking good. So I immediately get an erection. Okay. And I look at her and I'm like, I'm sorry. And
that's the exact response.
Right, of course. And she looks at me like nothing's going on. She's like, it happens every fucking time. And I'm like, really? She's like, at least in my experience. And so she was like, this girl's job is to sonogram different people for different things, right? But she does on occasion have to put them on guys' balls and rub it all on there, and then she takes the machine and glides it all over your balls. You're like, oh, hey, oh boy, you know what I mean? It feels. I could see a guy that like hasn't gotten any action in a long time, or somebody that's like married and been one person for a long time that doesn't have what you have, prematurely blowing it right on the spot. Wow. And just I could see it not being like. It's not out of the realm of reality that could occur.
Chris, did you have to bring your sperm back when you went
They told
Get it tested?
They told me to, but I
didn't do it.
It's
a really weird experience.
Oh, for me, it was really fucked up because I was 26 when I got my vasectomy, right? Because I already had my kid and I had 2 other stepkids, and I was like, look, that's it. Those are my kids. I don't want to have like different kids with different girls all over the world. That's fucked up. I know, because that's the way the world was headed, and I didn't want to be part of it. Anyway, if you're from a family with a bunch of people, hey, I hope you guys all love each other and it works, but that just wasn't for me. I wanted my kid to have like more of a tight-knit thing. But anyway, I was sure I wanted a vasectomy, and I went out and I got one. And my mother, of all people, drove me to the place, right? And she, if you know her, she looks very young, right? So at the time, I literally did date women old enough to be my mother at the time, right? So like, it wasn't weird that like I would walk into a place with one. But anyway, she drove me to the place, and after I got the vasectomy, which I watched happen, by the way,
I couldn't look.
My mom and I are standing there, and I'm assuming the nurse thinks that she's my wife or my girlfriend, because who the fuck brings their mother to drive them to get a vasectomy? But I thought,
point.
Well, first of all, it's painful, so you can't drive home. It would hurt your balls, right? And secondly, I thought I was going to be put under anesthesia and that I would be unconscious and then be all fucked up when I woke up. I didn't realize it was going to be like,
you're wide awake for it.
They only put people to sleep for it. Some people can't handle it. But for me, I was in stirrups. My balls were hanging down. And I watched the whole fucking awful thing go down. Dude, like, it's in my brain right now. I could still remember every little piece of it happening.
Oh, the little needles on each side, nuts.
Brutal.
Oh boy, I could live without my nuts. I just can't live without my dick.
Yeah, well,
nuts, yeah, nuts. You know what I mean? Like, they are what they are. I don't know why they're made outside the body to begin with.
I guess
really stupid.
You don't need balls to have an orgasm, supposedly.
No,
you
sensation. You need the prostate, I think.
No. What I'm saying is that sensationally, like your nervous system feels whatever it feels during orgasm. Whether the balls are there or not is my understanding.
Yeah,
you might want to check the medical facts on
that.
I
think
but
that's
my understanding.
That might not be a real thing.
Well, I don't want to put anyone's name out there, but
so you didn't.
I seem to recall Lance Armstrong.
You didn't get sperm checked?
Well, anyway, to round out that story, the fucking nurse hands me the bottle right next to my mom, goes, I'll need a freshly masturbated semen sample in 7 days. And I'm sitting there like with a look on my face, like, thank you very much. Like Adam Sandler, I'm like, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You wouldn't have cared now.
No, I don't want my mother involved in any of that.
Yeah, well.
I'm smarter. I take an Uber now, Dan. It's a different world.
I brought it back to them, and it was so weird. I'm like, this is the stuff. Like, what?
This is what you requested.
I did do it twice because the first time my sperm were holding on for like 3 weeks.
Oh wow!
What do you mean?
They were just
they were packed. There was
still something there. See, I still produce sperm. We both do. We just gets absorbed by the body. But they were just still swimmers in there. Like they can survive for a while.
They were like stuck in the tubes.
Yeah, So we had to be very careful because like I just touched my wife and she gets pregnant. Like.
No, that's true. You guys hey,
yeah.
After what you just told me.
And she flings them out like potato gun. Like,
dude, it's not a surprise that you had 4 kids. And you're right. Your wife goes from being pregnant to back to normal in like 2 weeks.
6-pack abs 2 weeks after having
like
kids.
Nothing.
Yeah.
She's like,
we could have had 10, 12 kids. Yeah. Easily.
Damn.
Easily.
She would have been a valuable woman.
She would have been like,
in the days when.
She was like sought after.
So getting back to the economy thing, like when did we get like. You have 4 kids, and I remember myself included being part of this. So, and I'm ashamed of it now, but, at the time you weren't like on your A game, right? And you didn't have the artist gig going and whatever.
I was working like shitty jobs.
Whatever. You just weren't like on paper, like doing what you were supposed to be doing.
No, I was doing it. I just wasn't getting paid for it, really.
And no, I'm saying that like on paper, you're supposed to follow this path in this country. Like go to high school, go to college, get a good job, get a 401k, fucking get a credit score of 800, fucking blah 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 blah. These are all these things. It's all financially targeted goals, and that's all we give a fuck about. And I remember when the news came out about you having another kid. We had already thought you had a vasectomy because you told everyone you got one.
Everybody wouldn't shut the fuck up about me having another kid. They're
right,
like,
but
you get a vasectomy. I'm like, I got one. All right,
right. So everyone was fucking.
And then I did actually.
Everybody, and I mean everybody, not me on this, but everybody was up. Anyone who matters in your life was up your ass to not have any more, not to reproduce any more children.
Yeah, they're great
because this was like this thing that was going to cost money.
Too much money. Yeah.
Money.
Right.
To be honest, like an extra kid, it costs money, but it's not like. direct cost. Like it's like they're all like a package deal.
Listen,
3 to 4 wasn't a big deal.
I don't want to get into the economics of it, but
it's like your first million.
They do. You do hand.
I don't give a fuck.
You do hand.
You
do hand. You know, right? Like you do hand down clothes, right? So they
right.
shoes, things like
buy,
that.
Like, diapers
get reused.
Like, formula
Consumables that cost money. And you guys, there are programs out there. There's a lot of people that get help with the kids, so that's fine. Yeah, so there are things to help, so that's fine. I hope people have them and they get to use them. But there are people out there that resent it. Like a guy like my dad doesn't get help from anybody. He's making a bunch of money. He's in the highest tax bracket. Yeah, but he works his fucking ass off, and he's in the highest tax bracket, which tax brackets are bullshit. There should just be like one tax for everybody in the world, 10%. There you go. Oh, you're homeless? Give me 10% of what you got right now. Oh, you're a billionaire? Give me one of them right now.
Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah, fuck you, pay me 10% from everybody. That's what it should be. But anyway, some people frown on it, and some people get really upset about it, and that's what's going on. People were like pissed that you were having another kid.
They were?
And,
I never heard about this.
Well, what are they going to do? Call you up and be like, you're a fucking real nice Dan.
Which kid was this? Was this one of them?
2, 3, 4, you name it. People were talking trash. They were like, oh, great, Dan's having another kid. And
I didn't have any clue that happened.
The only one who would probably say anything to your face about it would be like me. And I was probably like, you know what, man? I think at the time I said something like, it's mildly irresponsible, but I'm happy for you. So congratulations, dude. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, my kids are more well behaved than somebody who has one kid.
Not just that, but they're smart. They're little pistols. They're happy. Yeah. They're running around happy.
What do you want from me,
dude? You created these 4 little happiness balls of energy that are running around being awesome, and all anyone could give a shit about was what it was going to cost.
We knew people would talk shit probably, but they're a bunch of pussies.
But think about that. When did I, like in the old days? When you lived in like a tribal society and somebody was having a baby, like they'd throw a fucking party in the village. The whole tribe would rejoice, right? They'd be like, there's a new member of the tribe being born. Look, Susie's pregnant again.
Now
she's got number 7. You don't think life was tough for them, dude? They had to hunt and gather shit.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean? Like
now all they do is like assess the situation. Like, oh, you know, they have this going on. Okay.
But like what I'm saying is like people back then rejoiced when a new person was born.
Well, even after that, even after the hunter-gatherers came the agriculture. So
and I get it.
Farmers, you're like, oh shit, let's keep fucking.
And I didn't just decide to another kid. Like
farm.
I just couldn't pull out. I'm sorry.
Hey, you don't have to apologize. I love you.
I just couldn't do it.
I love you, your wife, and all your kids.
Yeah, no, I do.
Although the jury is out on the little one still, but that's been the way.
Yeah, well, he's 3. We just don't know who he is.
I haven't bonded with him.
Still early.
Still early. The other
ones, he just looks at you kind of like suspiciously.
Dan, the other ones when they look at you.
Yeah,
you can tell
they're working
things out. For real. They're like little velociraptors. All
no, but that
Jesus, don't let them gang up on you.
A lot of my recent philosophy after having the heart issues and bullshit, and like
absolutely,
you know what they can do. People can do whatever they want. It's their problem. It's not my problem. It was never my problem. Everything went great.
Hey, listen, I'm happy.
Could anybody ever say we were bad parents after the whole thing? No
fucking way.
So fuck off.
What I'm saying is
lick my taint.
I get that in the old days that farmers liked having lots of kids because it meant when they grew up.
Farmers were fucking.
It meant when they grew up that they could have somebody to help work the farm.
Yep.
But that doesn't like happen overnight. They got to like feed that kid, take care of that kid, devote resources. So I don't think
earn your pet, earn your food.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think life was easier for these people back in the day. But for some reason, when a kid was born, it was this great rejoice thing. Now, you know, what the fuck happened with Kanye West? He was telling me more black babies are being, I don't know if these facts are true. I just heard him say it on the air, but he's saying that, you know, more African American kids are getting aborted in this country in a year than people died from COVID this year, right? But people aren't freaking out about it. They're lining up to do it.
I wouldn't trust a word that Kanye West.
I'm just telling you, I heard him say it. My kid told me some horrible thing. I don't know if this is true, but she told me that Massachusetts legalized like super late term abortion.
They probably did.
Not sure.
But anyway, I don't know when we went to a society where that became a thing and where everything sucked and all we cared about was economics and money.
I forgot how judgy people are.
Whoa,
like,
fucking brutal.
Because like everybody on Facebook and everybody is so fucking positive about your kids and everything.
Judgy and fake.
Oh my God, they're so fake. And
sending you congratulations.
Oh, and then like behind my back, they're talking about me and I never even heard of any of it.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
It's bullshit. Sucks.
And you know who they are too.
I'm just.
And we're gonna tell them
everybody. Pick anybody and just at
really?
Dude, I said myself included. Like, and I didn't mean it like behind your back because I just said it because I remember saying it to you. And like 5 minutes after I sent it, I remember thinking like, man, what that was a shitty text to send to a friend.
You did?
And and obviously I remember it.
But it's not that important because I don't remember it.
Sure. Yeah, you have bigger fish to fry. Yeah. But that little dinky down there needs to be in a vagina in about 5 minutes or you're going to start freaking out.
I still live my dream.
You do live your dream.
And my wife's in school right now, almost going to be a biotechnologist, whatever it is.
Yeah, totally.
Scientist, basically.
Whatever. You got laid 3 times today and we have a sweet podcast. And, what does everyone else have going on?
And I get to go to work with Clay and shit.
What else is everybody doing right now?
I just worked on a friggin' Lou Ferrigno Hulk statue at work. Yeah. You know what? Fuck off.
What'd you do today? Process a TPS report?
Yeah.
That's what I think about that.
Seriously.
Dan had sex 3 times in his own bathroom. He didn't have to. He likes it in there.
Yeah, I have a big mirror.
Oh, my God.
I have to watch myself like Patrick Bateman.
Jesus.
Flexing.
All right. We're an hour in, baby. Give me some beyond... I don't want to piss you off. Give me a bizarre beyond belief.
Not pissing me off. I just didn't know all that.
No. I know you got angry because it was some hard truths, but...
No, it didn't get me angry.
It's good. It was raw.
I proved them wrong.
It makes me angry.
No, I know. I proved them wrong now.
Because I think it's gross.
No, I knew that happened. I'm not stupid.
It makes me angry because I think it's gross that society values money more than they value a new awesome opportunity for the world. Those kids could grow up and turn. They might grow up and be hellions and be awful. If you look at them right now, I'm thinking they're pretty much going to grow up to become something fucking amazing. If Quinn doesn't become something amazing, I'd be surprised. If Alice doesn't become
and we're doing some pretty good things now. We weren't maybe when we had kids. I was working at a pizza place, and she was working at Comcast.
You grow up, but you work hard, you get things.
Things change.
Stuff. You guys.
What do you think? Everybody starts off perfect having kids.
No,
we didn't get married.
Exactly, dude. That's what I tell people all the time. When they're like, oh, we're not ready to have a baby yet because it's not the right time. And I'm just like,
they just don't want to have a baby.
I'm like, there's never a right time.
No, there's not. Just say it.
I do get not having one. It is a major responsibility, right? And it is it is life changing, and there's no going back. It's buy the ticket, take the ride. But
I like that.
Yeah, I know.
I want that tattooed on my body.
I think I do too.
Or
Dan.
too weird to live, too rare to die.
Maybe we'll get them together.
Yes.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Buy the ticket, take the ride with the splatter.
Yeah. We'll do a live podcast while you get them on your lower backs.
You know what? The girl that I used to go out with, Francesca, does tattoos. Really? She could come here and do them.
I don't care who does my text. Text is easy.
Text is easy.
Yeah.
Lower back. Tramp
stamps. I don't know about that.
That would be.
No, I want a place where people can see. I don't really show my lower back too much.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
Buy the ticket, take the ride.
On your lower back.
That's a good next to your ding dong tattoo.
Yeah, I was just thinking about yours.
All right, what do you got?
All right, so
what do you got
for bizarre beyond belief? All right, space entrepreneur Robert Bigelow raised eyebrows in public interest when he made a provocative comment to CBS News program 60 Minutes back in November 2017.
Bigelow, 3 years ago?
Yes, but they're talking about it now.
Keep going.
Bigelow told correspondent Lara Logan, that aliens are already here on Earth, right under people's noses. Since the program aired, UFO curious folks around the world have wondered what Bigelow meant with the controversial statement. So, this is a big dude. This is like an Elon Musk type character saying that they're right here and living here. Lots of people have said recently that they're living here.
No specifics, though.
No specifics, but a lot of these guys haven't been using specifics. Like that Israeli general talked about a federation that's happening right now. And there's a lot of different ones right now. What's the guy's name? Harry Reid? He's basically been saying the whole time that we have lots of stuff that the government hasn't released yet.
How long has it been since we blew a nuke on this planet? Even for testing purposes, what do you think?
When's the last North Koreans did it.
When's the last nuke we let off?
The North Koreans did it, right?
Last year.
Yeah.
A year ago? So we're still
US probably doing the same.
No, you think somewhere they're still testing nukes?
100.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No wonder
North
everyone
Korea
has
definitely.
cancer. Where do they think that radiation's going? Eventually it just works its way around the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the air, in the water.
Giving birth to mutants.
Yeah. Oh, hey, everybody. We've all got cancer. Big surprise. We lit off about 18 nuclear bombs in the last 100 years.
Yeah, well...
we wanted to make sure they worked.
In the 50s, we set off 100 nuclear bomb testing.
I know.
There's a really cool book called The 100 Suns, which is a coffee table book. It has photographs of all the blasts and tells you the megatons and stuff. It's freaking cool.
Dude, it's scary.
Russia has a bomb right now that it allegedly can wipe out.
I'm writing it down. We should have a nuke talk one time.
Yes, scary
Let's talk
shit.
about nukes. It's worth a whole podcast.
This one that they have is huge, right?
Right. It can wipe out.
It's the SAR bomb?
New York City fucking...
Yeah, and they have bombs now. They don't just lit off one nuke, they like lit out 12 at a time. So clusters, yeah. So it's like do.
The Cylons were big with that on Battlestar Galactica. They'd simultaneously strike the whole planet with nukes.
We could be nuked at any time, and somebody's giving me shit about having some kids.
Right. Think about, I know, right? The thing about nukes that don't scare me is like the only thing about nukes that does scare me is the having to survive it, right? Because like that's not a good time. But like if you get nuked, you're just like poof, you're vaporized. You know what I mean? Yeah. You have like a fraction of a second to process what's even going on, and you're gone. So to me, that's like probably not a horrible way to go.
Well, all the electronics shut down too from the
Yeah, that's not my problem. I just got vaporized.
Yeah. Well, close enough.
It's the people afterwards that have to rebuild.
Why is my Instagram not working?
Have horrible cancer and tumors.
My phone turned off.
Fucking
my car won't drive. What the hell's going on?
And then this.
Yep.
EMP. Boom.
EMP. Yep.
Oh, you're saying the EMP would hit first. People would freak out for a fraction of a second that there weren't 100% connectivity on their phones, and then they would be vaporized.
I have a lot of weird
dreams. It's very realistic.
Right.
I have a lot of dreams with nukes going off.
What does it look like?
Tornado dreams,
Terminator
going off.
T2 style dreams. What are we talking? Sarah Connor future dreams. What am I dealing with?
Just weird dreams. Like I'll look out my window and be like, I know a nuke's gonna come, and it's just mushroom cloud.
You think they're gonna nuke our little corner of the world?
I don't think so. I don't think it's super. I have dreams where I have to pee and I just pee all over people.
I'll tell you what.
And then I wake up and have to pee real bad. So it's not like anything like my dreams of any direction.
I'll tell you what. I know that a lot of like every major company in the world has like their intellectual property offsite data stored somewhere in like a protected facility. Some of them are most likely nuclear and EMP shielded, right?
Like the Scientologists.
I bet you it's probably standard tech protocol for a data center to be shielded from EMPs because the sun flares alone would wreak havoc. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I know that they like Raytheon and BAE and all these other big military contract companies. I know they have all their like blueprints and real valuable shit stored somewhere, but they're like human power, their manpower, their boots on the ground. A shit ton of it's where we live. So like if I was like the Middle East and I wanted to really fuck up the war machine in the US, I'd drop a bomb right in New England. Boom.
Raytheon and stuff.
Raytheon, BAE, everybody. See you later.
UTC.
All your employees just got nuked, sucker.
Yeah.
I don't know what population of the town we live in work for military contractors, but I bet it's like higher than any other field in the town.
It's not just nukes though, too. We're just walking around flesh bags like we're so easy to die. Like, and so it's just like,
what are you gonna do, man?
And then people are on some petty shit. You want to know something about me? I never complain about petty shit about people, like judging them and shit. I hate that. Am I righteous or for that? I don't know, but you know,
you definitely hate certain things. Like last week, I flipped out on human resources being sucky people, and then you were like, yeah, fuck those people. But that's like
I'll get behind you no matter what. I told you I'd follow you into hell.
I appreciate that.
I would follow you into hell.
You very well may have to one day, so get yourself ready.
No, I'm ready. All the cool people are down there anyways.
Yeah, I know. We'll send a pneumatic tube up to my mom in heaven and be like, hey, we're having a party down here, but I love you, Mom.
Here's some apple pie. We got cocaine and Motley Crue.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that.
All right, so hold on. We got distracted.
We did.
What was the guy's name? Robert Bigelow?
Stone.
Robert Bigelow, yeah.
Bigelow. Who is he?
He's a space guy.
Yeah, he's a space guy.
Aerospace guy.
I don't know who he is. Why are you getting me these questions?
You said he was Elon Musk.
He's a space dude, though.
He's like Elon Musk. So
to me, if he's a big billionaire space guy, Elon Musk.
He has a lot of interests all over.
He's a Virgin Mobile guy like that.
He's got his fingers in a lot of pies.
I think so, at least.
All right.
He could be a NASA guy for all I know.
So what about
this article's by George Knapp, though, who's a big...
Yeah, I know big, who he is. Coast to Coast? Is that George Knapp?
George Knapp is like the guy who...
is that George Norrie? Coast to Coast?
Yeah, no, that's... I forget his name. Bob...
I think it's George Norrie.
Bell. Something Bell.
Coast to Coast Radio.
Yeah,
I think it's George
dead,
Norrie.
though.
I'm gonna look.
But George Knapp was the guy who brought out Bob Lazar. Yeah.
Okay.
He's that guy. He was a regular journalist.
Yeah.
Who became fascinated with UFOs.
I love Bob Lazar.
And he looked up his story and stuff.
I love Bob Lazar. If the story ended simply with him putting a jet engine in his Honda when he worked at that place, that's all he needed to do for the rest of his life. He was good. I'd be like, look at this motherfucker.
Well, that is somebody...
He put a fucking airplane engine in a Honda.
He is a scientist, though, without the education, though.
Right,
so but it is possible.
So you're saying that you're saying that somebody could be a scientist and not formally be educated.
Yeah. Okay, Robert Bigelow.
Is that what you just came out of your mouth?
Yes.
That's hilarious, because I was going to ask you a question about that. Benjamin Franklin, one of the greatest scientists of all time, supposedly, I'm pretty sure he didn't have a degree in any kind of actual science.
It wasn't his press back then.
So
you didn't have to have that degree on the resume.
When did I leave when did I not make the cut of what you would consider to be official scientists?
I think you do science. I'm just saying that they would not hire you, a research facility.
You just said that what's his name is a scientist, even though he was. You said that Bob Lazar wasn't a real scientist, but he was a scientist.
No, but technically they wiped out his records from MIT.
Okay, fine.
So like his science career is based on the UFO story where they're wiping out their records. So he technically did go to Caltech and MIT.
So I lose either way. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, but he's
I'm not
saying you wouldn't be hired on
abilities.
the research side. You'd be hired on the development side.
Something would be going on.
Because the research follows this process that you don't follow.
I hope somebody puts me to fucking...
You're not fucking doing experiments.
I took research 1 and 2 in college, and it's really difficult. Like having a hypothesis...
You're talking about
exactly.
You're talking
like
about
a null hypothesis,
yes.
and the scientific method, like having a double-blind study with extraneous variables and bullshit.
Yeah. Constants, variables, rechecking.
Oh, okay, you know a little bit about it, but yeah.
Yeah, man, what are you talking about? Come on.
Well, he's a research scientist, so I'll just admit that right now. Chris is a research scientist.
What an asshole. That's all I gotta say.
I support you.
You can do science with the best of them, Chris.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't do science.
Thanks, babe.
But
I love your science.
to get that IST at the end of your title, it's
I feel like you need to say doctor or PhD. That's all, or master's.
We should hack into it. We gotta hack into somewhere like MIT and have them put me on the roster.
there you go.
It'd be cool if we go on there and you're in like the phone.
My cousin goes there, and he's like,
ooh, Mr. Smarty Pants.
Listen, my cousin goes there. All right. And he's like,
nerd.
He's a nerd, but he's cool. He's not his cousin. That'd be me, right?
Yep.
He's not me. When we're at the family functions, I immediately latch on to him. He's like 15. Now he's in college, right? So he goes to MIT. He's like 20. He might be 20. These kids are getting old quick. But I'll tell you what.
He's 111 years old.
111 years old.
If you're 20 at MIT, you're fucking old.
In real life, though, him and his homies, and they had a video of it, and they put it on the air, and my aunt showed me, and she was, like, so impressed by it. And I was like, wow, I'm impressed by this. They climbed up some fancy building on campus and put a huge Captain America symbol on the top of it and filmed it and left it up there as, like, a prank. You know what I mean? But it took some doing, dude, and it was dangerous. It was like high up, and they had to, I don't know how they did it, but they did it because they're all smart MIT kids.
I hate heights.
Oh, dude, I'd pee my pants and get vertigo immediately. I'm not into heights. So, all right, to get back to your guy on the aliens living under our noses thing, bro, I'm with you 100%. I'm with him. I mean, I'm pretty sure the general accepted narrative on extraterrestrials is that they're currently doing business with the governments around the world, and that they have facilities here on the moon, suborbital, under the ocean, multiple facilities up in and around the planet that operate. And, let me say this about that, right? Like, I feel like anything that we can imagine, and I don't mean we as humans, I just mean conscious beings, right? Something on our level or beyond us, basically, is what I'm saying. Anything we can conceive in our idea, like in our imagination, we can one day find the technological know-how to bring into reality. So for like a lizard race with like 4 arms, and you remember like the show V? Did you ever see V?
Yeah,
they're like these lizards, and they sharp teeth.
This video's a bush. He was a lizard.
Lizard.
He's an elliptical eye.
Yeah,
and
for them to be able to modify their bodies or the way that they look to us is not.
It breaks down once in a while.
It's not science fiction.
Obama too. Obama's a lizard too.
It's science fiction because like I don't know how to do it, and we don't know how to do it, but like the idea is out there. So that idea has been in movies. It's been in comics. It's out in the UFO community. So it exists, and fucking on Star Trek. Where are you on Star Trek right now? Please don't say season 1. God, that's terrible.
You're not putting in the work.
I'm not putting in the work.
You disappoint me with that. But
I might be at the end of this fucking 20 episodes.
I know.
I blew through it so fast and so many times.
I know. I don't want to even hear it. I'm on the end of Farscape. That's got 20
episodes.
That's got 20.
Going on.
I hear you, but I have a hardcore gaming
life gets in the way.
I got kids. I got a kid.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I got a job. I get fucking, I'm at the gym or swimming. I do so many fucking things. When people say they don't have time, I'm like, fuck you, man. I'm like,
make time.
No, I didn't say I don't have time. I just got.
You haven't prioritized. You haven't prioritized Star Trek into your life. That's what it boils down to, and that's what I'm disappointed about, and that's fine. But in Star Trek, when they do visit a planet that's like pre-warp, if they are going to go down there, they make them. So they modify the way they look so that they look like the indigenous people. It's like the first fucking thing they do.
Riker doesn't even have a beard yet. He's watching.
I know. Yeah. It's so weird to see him without a beard because you're like, hey, who's the baby face commanding of the fucking captain?
And his beard becomes famous.
Boss in the cat. Oh yeah. Riker's a man.
Women love that. They mop up with it.
Riker's a man's man, Sean.
Yeah.
He says one line is like nobody's business. Like, I'm through playing around with these bastards. Like dump the fucking eject the warp plasma and eject the core right on him. You know what I mean?
He's a ladies' man too.
Oh, he's great.
He's in a jacuzzi with his wife.
Jonathan
honeymoon in one of the movies.
Jonathan Frakes is his name.
Yeah, he was in the new show.
He directs a ton of Star Trek. Cross the series, all the different series, not the Next Generation, but later on, other shows that were Star Trek.
I can give you some thoughts I have on the first season.
What do you got? Please do.
I enjoy the.
What do you like?
The space travel part of it, where they're going to planets and they
Picard.
They're going to Picard, and he's very serious about it, and
serious about everything.
They're having fights or they're negotiating. They went to that planet where all the women were in charge, and they made the guys their little bitches.
You're all in charge.
But I hate the fucking goofy episodes.
The filler episodes.
I hate them when
they had to fill 20 slots.
So
there was a lot of filler TV.
Data and
Geordi
play
holodeck, Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, hate it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those throughout the series.
I can watch all of them. I enjoy all of them.
Those are considered fan favorites, but I also am not big into them. There's one I don't want to spoil the show, Sean, but there's a couple of them. There's a couple other Sherlock Holmes.
One with Mark Twain.
Yeah,
Mark Twain.
Yeah, that's a different thing. That's not on the holodeck.
Oh,
that's actual time travel.
Oh, okay.
There is.
What would you do in the
holodeck?
holodeck?
What are they trying to do with this?
I saw a T-shirt.
What would you do in the holodeck?
I'm going to answer your question.
You know what I do in the holodeck?
I know what you would do.
Do we want to say
you
what the holodeck is?
You haven't watched. If you don't know what the holodeck is,
why don't you just get the fuck out of here right now?
I know what the holodeck is.
Don't listen to us.
If you don't know what spaghetti and meatballs are, why don't you get the hell out of here?
Yeah, exactly. So the holodeck is used on Star Trek as it means on the Next Generation, mainly as a means of like recreation or a place to go, whatever.
So they don't go nuts in space.
Later on Deep Space Nine, there's a Ferengi named Quark, and he has holo suites. Oh. Now these are different. These are 100% geared towards virtual sex with a hologram. Okay? So the holodecks are used heavily in the Star Trek universe for all sorts of things. Exercise routines, training scenarios, the Kobayashi Maru scenario.
Sparring, right?
Sparring, but there's a lot of sex that goes on the holodeck. So I saw a T-shirt on actual Amazon, not on like Etsy or anything, and I'm buying it. And it's just a grid of the holodeck, like the squares, like when the program's off, and it says what happens on the holodeck stays on the holodeck. And that is like my shirt to a fucking T, because it's like naughty like Vegas, but it's nerdy because it's Star Trek.
How could you even leave the holodeck and go back to the real world?
You say computer and program. Bridge.
But I mean, how would you even want to leave? I'd just be stuck there.
Yeah, for sure. What is that? Is that my is that computer? Oh man, that's terrible. Sorry.
It's all right.
You said computer.
Yeah.
This is the real world. It happens.
So the reason that occurred, and this is relevant to the Star Trek, is because I've reprogrammed Alexa, and it's not like I went out and did this because I'm a nerd. It's one of the main options because it's so cool. On Star Trek, they say computer, and the computer answers their questions. So I've reprogrammed my Echoes and Alexas and all the other ones to respond to that command instead of Alexa. So that's what happened. And every once in a while, when you say the C word, not the bad one, but the computer word, it'll go off. So sorry about that. So yeah, man, I'm on board with Bizarre Beyond Belief. We covered that. Sean, you had some stuff for me.
Yeah, I did.
Are we gonna go into it?
Let's close with that.
We're gonna. All right, we'll talk about that other stuff next week.
No. Let's close this one with that.
Oh, you want to talk right now about it? Okay.
Scared.
Hit me.
Well, it kind of goes into.
Who's the guy that went missing?
We're going to talk about that. So let me fucking finish.
This could be a lot to get into this. I know what we're talking about now.
It goes into my theory about aliens and how they come here and why they come here. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even connect it.
So we're connecting that bridge. So my theory on aliens is that they're just like us. So you hear the story of this very famous spaceman saying that there's aliens hiding with us in plain sight. Blah, blah, blah. That's because they're just fucking like us. They're just rich people from other planets that have the money to travel here. Yeah.
Elitists, yeah.
So, just this week, or recently in the news, this was announced that the founder of the DHL Worldwide Express shipping company,
major company,
his estate paid out money to his family, which includes 4 impoverished children.
So he never took care of these kids.
Never took care of them.
What a piece of shit.
So go into the story.
I didn't understand that. I thought
this man was a very rich man. Obviously, DHL liked to party. Businessman though.
Could have set them up with something.
Not yet. He would if you look him up, if you Google him, Larry Hillblum. He looks like the guy that I'm about to explain. So this guy would go to Thailand or Southeast Asia and have sex safari trips. And he would pay to get into, sick shit with underage kids. And in that process, he had 4 children. And their estate just paid $360 million to those 4 children.
Good, they deserve it.
$50 million.
They got shafted.
He's a demented, depraved individual.
Right.
Yeah, but
he had enough money to go to a place that was considered different or other or tropical, and he was able to use money to do whatever the fuck he wanted. Which I think, not to take light of what the sick fuck was doing, but to think about aliens and when they're coming here and all the people that get abducted and what they go through. Because they're getting
fucked by aliens?
They get touched.
He texted this to me earlier in the week, and because I've spent a lot of time in Thailand and I have connections over there, roots, however you want to call it, people I'm friends with, I thought, I read it and I was like, I don't like this. This paints Thailand with a bad brush. It's not like that anymore. And to say that it isn't like that anymore is definitely a true statement. In the 80s, they had a huge... they put a big light on what was going on in the illegal sex trade in Thailand and how these kids were being exploited,
right.
And then basically their whole country is 100% dependent on tourism, and so there was this big boycott of Thailand because of that. Basically, anyone who wasn't going there for sex only didn't go, and so they lost a huge amount of massive influx, and so there was a big crackdown by the government on it, as well there should be, and it's just not mainstream, or you don't really see it anymore. That stuff goes on all over the world, man. That stuff goes on in the USA. That stuff goes on in Russia. That stuff goes on.
It's an industry.
Yeah,
right. Not the only one.
It's a global. Yeah, it's a global.
But
industry.
Thailand was
a hub.
For it.
That was a hub in the 80s, and you do. Cause I have spent plenty of time over there. You do see these older guys walking around with younger boys, never girls. You don't. I mean, maybe you do see older guys with younger girls, but you never see the drastic age difference. There are a lot of dudes over there that are 65, 70 that would never, ever, ever get a piece of ass in this country ever again without paying $10 grand for it, and they go over there and they get a young girlfriend or like a wife who's like 25.
Right. But of age.
Well, way younger than them, but at least they're like 25. They're not 16 or like 15, right? You do sometimes see these older dudes over there with like a young looking boy who's like, maybe 15 or 16. And they're just walking around the street holding hands and stuff. So, yeah, it's out there. It exists. I'm sure that...
The duality of man.
The duality of man.
It's just such nice, beautiful things.
Yeah.
We're also sick fucks sometimes,
That's right.
too.
That's why I started with with the concert phenomenon thing.
Fucking crazy.
We do it all. We light off nukes and we sing Live Aid concerts, And
I get judged for producing children.
I know. Most natural thing in the world.
Yeah. Right. But in Thailand, it's not like that anymore. And I think that's why I brought it up, because I think people still make jokes about that.
About Thailand?
About going to Thailand to
to screw little boys and stuff.
Or
like
girls,
screw younger kids. I mean, well, that's what happens. You get bad rep for something that sticks with you. It's why people make fun of the Germans for still being Nazis. You know what I mean? Like, that's going to stay. Like, how long until Germany casts aside the Nazi? Like, how long before the world just says, "Okay, we forgive you"? Sorry. Like,
I forgive Thailand.
What do you?
The pad thai. I love pad thai.
Yeah, people love it.
I forgive them.
It means fried noodles, pad thai.
Yeah, with duck.
Pad means fry. Yeah, dude, I eat duck when I go over there. Last time I went, I didn't eat a lot of duck, but this other hotel I used to stay at used to eat duck twice a day.
You remember the first time you went there, you couldn't find food? Like,
it was bad. You
up?
Still can't find food.
Really, it's just like bugs and shit.
That's the one thing I'll say is
I crave fried bugs. I don't know why.
Then you got to go there, buddy.
Grasshoppers.
They're everywhere.
Ants. I don't know why.
They're rich in protein.
Yeah, I want.
It's natural. In the future, you should know this, but in the future, and they had this in Blade Runner 2049. Was it 2049? Who's the fucking huge Batista guy? He's plays in Guardians of the Galaxy. David Batista.
Dave Bautista.
All right, so he has a small role in Blade Runner 2049, but he's a protein farmer. That's what they call him, and he's just basically raising these vats of grubs. Because in space and in the future, when like land is scarce and food is scarce, it's a very efficient protein source to grow grubs versus versus cattle, right? Because they're higher in protein, their life cycle is quicker, their nutrients requirements are less. Oftentimes they're eating gross shit that you're throwing away anyway, so they help recycle stuff. So later on, like 250 years from now, 1,000 years from now, if we don't have like replicator technology on Star Trek, you might eat a cheeseburger made out of grubs, and it might cost like the equivalent of like $1,000, whatever that is financially in the future. It could be like 10,080 rupee qubit 90 thingies. Name it whatever you want. It's going to be expensive to have a beef cheeseburger in like 1,000 years, presumably. So yeah. I hadn't connected that. I hadn't connected the Thailand thing with that guy that you sent me, with him being an extraterrestrial.
I'm playing a long game, baby.
Yeah. He showed up here, set himself up with a bunch of technology and money, and just ran around and got his extraterrestrial dinky wet on humans.
He could be that, or that's just the nature of beings in general. That eventually,
you're saying that all the rich elite are extraterrestrials.
I'm saying that behavior is what aliens who come here are him. Whether he's an alien or whether he's just a human that had a shit ton of money that didn't know what to do with, and the regular things in life couldn't make him happy anymore. So he had to do weird shit.
I think it's good that aliens are here, because what if, like, we're living in a universe in, like, a galaxy where, like, asteroids are coming all the time.
They are.
You never know if we're, like, in that year where we got a big monster coming. I feel like them looking out for us is a pretty nice thing to have.
I think what you said about humans, the duality of man, I think it just carries throughout the universe itself.
Yeah. I think so too. I think the duality of everything.
Exactly.
The universe itself is based on equal and opposite dualities, yin and yang, yes and no, zeros and ones, fucking binary code. All these doctors are saying, like, or scientists are now
electrons and protons.
There's binary code written into the universe, I do want to have a talk about the Fibonacci sequence. We'll talk about that on another show, but that's a big one. But yeah, man, I think extraterrestrials, if they're here, they're exactly like us. I think that they might have different motives. Like, like they might not care about the same exact things we care about, but like the spectrum of good and evil, ones that want to wipe you out.
They have culture.
I'm sure
they have like some sort of culture, like food and like
and
like
why wouldn't they?
Drink and comedy. Who knows?
Yeah.
They might not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, presumably
Depends on what who we're talking about.
Presumably, an intelligent species that communicates with each other has culture. Do dolphins and whales have culture? I think they must, right?
They have accents, regional accents.
I think, yeah. I mean,
and they have sex all the time.
I would definitely choose dolphin if I had to be an aquatic being.
There's a video of some girl getting humped by a dolphin. And the dolphin, she said, smelled so bad.
Oh, it must have been gross, but I mean...
You don't picture a dolphin to smell bad, but this dolphin was going to town.
Yeah, they're in the water, and they must give off some kind of odor, and we don't smell it, but like...
Until
shark
bubbles pop on the...
Well, it's not fishy.
You're saying that a dolphin swam up to a human female and started to hump her?
Well, it climbed up on her while she was on, her back, and legs open. On a platform.
Like laying in the water, on a tube or something. And
No. She was on some platform, like a dock or something.
And it just mounted her?
And it just mounted her and just went to town.
Really? half out of the water?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
His tail was in the water and it was just humping.
Man, that might not be a real thing. I'm going to have to research that.
That's completely real.
No, bestiality is real. I just don't know the physics of the dolphin.
She was laughing, and it was really weird because the dolphin was just like, this is not a joke, lady.
Well,
I'm going to get there whether you laugh or not.
I've seen the dolphin come right out of the water and kick its tail where a majority of the dolphin is suspended out of the water. So they have the ability to do it. And they are mammals, so they have bones. So being out of the water is not a problem for them. They do the flips and the cartwheels and all that shit. That's crazy. I'm going to have to look that up. Well, I think that's a great place to leave off for the week.
Yes.
And I think I challenge everybody to look that up because I'm going to be looking it up this week. And until next time, guys.
Don't judge people.
Don't judge people when they have kids and question everything.